What's the latest with Sabrina and Niara?
Yeah, look, Sabrina's feeling better. She won't go tonight, but we plan to have her back next game. And the same goes with Niara. She'll go through warm-ups again and, sit dressed on the bench, but won't play tonight. But, I'm confident they'll be back next game. So better late than never.
Yep. I guess the thought process behind having Niara still rest and be on the bench, even though there's no plan to play.
Yeah, I think that's what they spoke to her, just to get back into rhythm. She's been out for such a long time, and she's going to go through the warm-ups too, so the layup drills and what they do before the game, just to be a part of the team. I think that's, just to make her feel like she's building up and she's almost there.
Coach, Gabby Williams leads in steals. What's makes her such an effective stealer, if you will?
Yeah, she's an athlete, number one. She anticipates extremely well. She's got a really quick first step. A lot of those things. And she backs herself. She knows what she can do. And she's got obviously a lot of length and athleticism behind her too. So it allows her to be really aggressive.
Is that something you, obviously it's your opponent that you can game plan against, I guess?
Yeah, we got to know where she is. That's for sure. There's a few players like that. You got to be careful because they're so quick in shooting the gaps, and which creates easy baskets down the other end. And for us, as turnovers, we've had some bad turnovers this year. That's really led to easy ones. So we've got to make sure we limit the unforced ones and make sure we know what this team wants to do. They're very aggressive. They're that's where they score a lot of the points out of their steals into the transition. So we've got to be really, really patient and disciplined in that area, and make a move in the half court.
Bob talked yesterday about how important it is to communicate on defense, specifically when there's a lot of switching and stuff like that. I guess, is that something that you've been trying to get? Do you think the lack of communication is part of the reason why you guys have been having defensive breakdowns? Yeah, look, I think a bit of everything, to be quite honest. I think our practice is what we've been doing has been great. The physicality but it's that communication, especially when you get tired, the lack of communication, or maybe you don't execute the scheme that you're supposed to do on the ball, and then everyone else behind you is out of position here. So, we're still, it's funny as it is, we've still been building chemistry because we've had so many different changes in and out and just trying to get everyone on the same page. But, I thought in the second half of the last game, we showed some really good glimpses where we can be disruptive, and we kept a really good team to 26 points, but we just couldn't score on the other side.
We'll go over to Zoom, starting with Jackie.
Hey, Sandy, you said better late than never about Niara and Sabrina. I just wanted to follow up about the toe. Is it that it just didn't heal as quickly as maybe you would have thought? Sort of what, I guess, has gone into this being a longer thing than you've thought?
Yeah, really, Sabrina's comfort level, to be quite honest. I mean, what she can and can't do. So Sabrina knows. I mean, if she could get out there, she would have. She wasn't comfortable to be, pushing off. So we were just being smart with that, because when she does come back, we want her to hit the ground running. We've got 2 games to finally have our full team together and to work out the rotations and build their chemistry up that. And, we haven't seen the big, our so-called big 3 together very much this year. So it'd be nice to see him back on court, but the whole pieces together.
For sure. And I guess, how would you diagnose what has gone wrong so far during this road trip? How do you sort of, sum up what's been difficult, maybe a theme or 2, I guess? How would you?
Yeah, I think things we've spoken about all season long, just turnovers, fouling shooters, and then we dig ourselves a big hole, and then we have to fight back. So some of that, really a lot of just discipline areas. And for a veteran team, we need to be better at that stuff. For example, we have a good, a solid starting quarter against Golden State, but then we turned the ball over 6 times for 14 points and fouled 4 shooters, and they had 12 free throw attempts. So, you can't do that when you're trying to build some momentum, because it kind of, takes us away with what we want to do. And then we just got to fight even harder. We fought, but we're down so much that we have to, we finally get going with how we want to play. And, sometimes I just think we just have to play harder. As simple as that.
Jeff?
Thank you. Good evening, Coach. Thank you for taking the time. You mentioned several times that this team, once it gets its big three back, can still be a dangerous foe in the first round. So, what gives you the faith and confidence that this team will be a formidable first round opponent once the top players get back on the floor?
Well, when they have played, we're 11-0. I think that starts. We haven't seen a lot of it. That's the only downside of it this year. I think, the last time we saw it was just straight after the All-Star break, before Stewie went down. So there's been and just what we've done, their chemistry from last year. You see when they're on the court together, they've had time together to build up that camaraderie and the chemistry, how to play with each other. And I think we've got really good people around them. I think puts Tash in she doesn't have to have the ball in her hands all the time. I think Leo can go back and be in a really good spacer when you're getting a really elite playmaker back. So, we're confident in that. Doesn't mean will it be easy? No, but you have to believe it's possible.
I appreciate the response. Thank you. And with Sue Bird and Maya Moore going to the Hall of Fame this weekend, what do you remember about preparing for them, for your team's epic battles with them? What do you remember about those matchups?
Well, I played with Sue Bird, so starting backcourt in 2003. So that was some moments. I mean, she was a legend already there for such a young player. But to see how she's impacted the game, one of the smartest players and one of the best, the vision that she had. But we had an opportunity in 2018. It'll go down as an epic semi-final series in Game 5, where we hit Sue in the nose and she was making shots from everywhere. So it's kind of the knife in the heart. But it's just so she does whatever is needed for her team to win, and just a pure legend of the game. And same goes to Maya Moore. I mean, man, she was so hard to guard. It's just her ability to come off screens and shoot it, and just her confidence. And, obviously they were wonderful players for their teams, and that's why they had success.
Appreciate your time, Nitz. I have fun out there tonight.
We'll finish with Russell.
Hi, Sandy. Just given kind of the ups and downs of this year, I'm wondering if it compares to any other that you've had as a head coach. And as you've navigated the injuries, the inconsistency, and all that, just what have you learned about yourself as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Obviously, I've got some mentors here, and they always say, without health and trying to repeat, that's the hardest thing to do, and it is. And I realize that it's really hard to do, without not having all your best players available, and how to build that camaraderie and the chemistry. It's tough because we played so many different rotations. And it's hard on the players as well, too, definitely. We built this team around all the players being available, and I think that we would have, I still think once we get them back, we're still going to be really competitive in that regard. For me, it's just navigating the highs and lows, and coaching, that's a part of it. You're not going to win every year, every game, but it's how to get the most out of the team. And it's been frustrating. I've never actually have experienced this many injuries as I had this year. So it's been a learning curve for me with what's best. But we just had to stay true to what we want to do. And a lot of it was self-inflicted, how we wanted to play. And for me, when to push them, but when do you make sure you're giving them confidence as well, too. So, but right now, we just need to play on a different level. But I will say this, back in 2021, with the Mercury, we didn't play well until we finished strong, and we had a lower seed. We had to do 2 knockout rounds and beat Vegas and went to the finals. So anything is possible. So I'm going to leave my hat on that.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone else.